There's so many things now. Parents don't know how to catch up.
Tumblr, Ask.fm, Kick, all that stuff. I don't think they're gonna get it.
They just don't get the impact that social media has on teens' lives.
Can I just scream right now? Nothing freaks me out more about being a parent at the moment than my kids entering the social media age. How will I possibly keep tabs on everything they're doing? And how will Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and all the other yet to be created social networks impact them? A 2-year AC 360 investigation, Being 13, Inside the Secret World of Teens, found that we parents don't really have a clue what's going on.
Some people post, the provocative pictures, the ones that show a little top, a little bottom. It shows what your parents wouldn't want you to really be showing.
Even parents who try to control their kids' social media use often don't realize that what their kids are posting might not match how they're feeling. About 60% of parents underestimated how lonely, worried, and depressed their kids were. And about 94% underestimated the amount of fighting on social media. Parents just don't realize how subtle the social aggression can be. Everything from posting a group photo and intentionally not tagging someone in the picture to sharing a photo with the main goal of trying to hurt all the people who weren't invited to that event.
I think what adults need to remember is that for a lot of 13-year-olds, they really have one social group who they care a lot about, and that is their friends at school. And if they're left out of that one group, that feels devastating.
So what's a parent to do? Well, experts say sign up for the social networks your teens are on and follow them and talk to your kids. If they seem upset after being on their phones, ask them about it. Because the AC 360 investigation did have one very encouraging finding, and that is kids whose parents were involved were less likely to get upset about social media.
They will be able to help remove the content and block the person so that the young person doesn't have to experience any more bullying.
Amy?
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Linda. Nice to meet you.
And you?
Right then. Well, we better get started because the shop's got to be open at 10. So, why have you applied for the weekend position with us?
Well, I love fashion and I particularly like your clothes design here too.
Thank you. I see that your school grades are rather good.
Yeah, I'm very dedicated to my work.
That's good. Of course, working in a shop will involve lots of face-to-face interaction with customers. Is that something you think you can cope with?
Oh yeah, I'm very sociable and I get on well with everybody.
I see. What about Brenda Sharp? It's just that it says here that you wouldn't be seen dead with her.
Oh.
Any other hobbies or interests?
Yeah, I'm part of my local athletics club.
Really?
Yeah, I did a sponsored
It doesn't
run.
say anything about that here either. It does mention, however, that you are part of the I Hate Brenda Sharp group. In fact, it would seem that you started it. Poor girl. I wonder what would happen if she were to come into the store and you were to serve her. I have to say that the photos that you've attached are really not at all flattering. What else? Oh yes, shoplifting, substance abuse.
No.
Pardon?
Well, that's not true. That can't be on there.
You put it here. Look, I have to say, you seem perfectly nice, but you really don't give a good account of yourself.
Should you be looking at that?
Well, you might not have meant me to, but it's here. Oh, is that the time? I've got customers waiting. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, she likes to know what I'm doing and things, not because she doesn't trust me, but just so that if I get into any trouble, she knows about it.
My dad is really strict, and he's always not technically stalking my profile, but he's always on it to make sure that I'm not adding like random people or like people I've never talked to before, etc. So my dad is very protective about me. My mum, not as much, but she still checks my profile as well.
My mum wouldn't really, she doesn't really know much about the internet. She would just say, you know, make sure you're being careful. I don't really know what's going on. She doesn't know much about it, but she would make sure I'm being careful.
My mum wouldn't talk that much about internet safety, but my dad would. He's constantly telling me, be careful what you put on Facebook. Just, you know, anyone can kind of say it, and make sure you have your privacy settings to the highest standard.
One of the main ways that young people use the internet is to stay in touch with and make new friends. But what is a friend? What does being a friend mean to you? And is that the same as what it means to your child? Your children may have friends they've met in gaming sites or chat rooms, people they've never met in the real world. Young people's idea of an online friend might be very different to an offline one. Online, a friend might be your best mate, friends of friends, your entire school, or even just someone with a funny profile.
With online friends, they're a mixture. They're people that you do actually know very well in real life. And for many teenagers, they're also the friends of their friends. So it's a bit like, you know, if your child is going to a party, when they go to the party, they're not just going to meet people who are already their friends. They're going to meet a group of people who are the friends of their friends, and that's what makes the party fun.
But making someone a friend gives them access to the information that you share. This could be what you look like, what you like, and even where you are right now. Can you trust your friends with all this information?
So we offer privacy controls on the service to allow people to publish things to different audiences. So your children, if they've got something they just want to share with their family, can just share it with the 10 or 15 people who are their immediate family that are connected on Facebook. If it's just people in their school, again, your children could share something just with the group in the school if it's relevant to them. And if it's some less sensitive information, a piece of music they're listening to, something like that, they maybe want to share it with this broader group, the friends of their friends as well.
Remember, we act differently online to how we do in the real world. It can be much easier to say, do, or reveal things online when we're hiding behind a computer. It can be easier to be mean, aggressive, or flirtatious.
It can appear fun, harmless, and sometimes a bit of a joke. But sexting, as it's become known, can have serious consequences. Photos can end up in the wrong hands or on the wrong websites. With more and more children also sharing photos, the National Crime Agency says it's becoming the norm. The Child Exploitation and Online Protection Centre, part of the NCA, says it receives 1 report a day of a child protection issue linked to sexting. Today, it's asking for parents and carers to help. It's publishing a series of videos online with advice for them on how to deal with it.
After Harry shared some nude selfies with a girl from school, he was really anxious about what might happen to them.
This is one of 4 videos. They all give tips on what's safe and what's not.
The first thing I did was contact his school for advice, and it was obvious from their reaction that they'd dealt with this kind of thing before.
And where to get help if anything goes wrong. The main advice for parents and carers is simple: to understand it, to talk about it, and to get the child to tell them about any problems. Helena Lee, BBC News.